Imagine standing in the face of chaos, your world crumbling around you, and yet, you remain calm, composed, and unshakable. This is the power of Stoicism, a philosophy forged over 2 millennia ago, but still profoundly relevant today. It's a philosophy for living well, for navigating the trials and tribulations of life with strength and resilience. In this video, we'll uncover the life lessons men often learn too late. Lessons that can transform you into a pillar of strength no matter what life throws your way. These are the timeless truths that emperors and slaves, philosophers and soldiers have used to thrive in good times and bad. We'll draw wisdom from ancient Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, exploring how their teachings can help us master self-control, overcome destructive emotions, and build resilience. Let's dive into the timeless truths of Stoicism. Man is disturbed not by things, but by the views he takes of them. These words by Epictetus remind us that our perception, not external events, is the true source of our suffering. Think about that for a second. Not what happens to us, but how we think about what happens to us. That is the key to enduring hardship, to achieving peace. Too often men allow anger, fear, or envy to dictate their actions, only to realize too late that these emotions are fleeting and destructive masters. They let a bad day at work turn into a bad week. They let a fight with their spouse ruin their mood for days. They let the opinions of others dictate their self-worth. Consider the story of Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who faced countless challenges, war, betrayal, even the loss of his children. Yet he remained calm, channeling his emotions into deliberate, constructive action. He didn't let those emotions control him. He didn't let them make his decisions. He saw them for what they were: information, data. Imagine facing down barbarian hordes at the edge of the known world, your empire hanging in the balance. Or imagine receiving news that your son, your heir, is deathly ill. These are situations that could break a man. But Marcus Aurelius endured. Why? Because he knew that his emotions were his to control. This is the essence of Stoicism, mastering your emotions so they serve you, not control you. It's about recognizing that you have a choice in how you respond to the world around you. You can choose to let your emotions run wild, to be tossed and turned by the waves of circumstance. Or you can choose to be the master of your own fate, to chart your own course through the storm. So how do we do this? How do we become like Marcus Aurelius? It starts with awareness. Pay attention to your emotions. When you feel anger rising, when you feel fear creeping in, when you feel envy poisoning your thoughts, take a step back. Don't react, observe. Ask yourself, is this within my control? Is this situation something I can change? Or is it something that is outside of my control? If it's the latter, then there is no sense in getting worked up about it. Let it go. Focus your energy on what you can control, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions. This is the path to true strength, to unshakable peace. Amor fati, love of fate. This Stoic principle teaches us to embrace everything that happens, whether good or bad, as necessary for our growth. It's easy to love the good times, to embrace the things that go our way. But what about the bad times? What about the setbacks, the disappointments, the tragedies? Seneca wrote, "A good person dyes events with his own color, and turns whatever happens to his own benefit." Think about that for a moment. We have the power to choose how we react to events, even negative ones. We can choose to let them defeat us, or we can choose to learn from them, to grow from them. Think of a man who loses his job, his security shaken. This is a common situation, one that many of us will face at some point in our lives. It's easy to see this as a negative event, to fall into despair and self-pity. But a Stoic doesn't see it that way. A Stoic doesn't despair. Instead, he sees the loss as an opportunity to reinvent himself, to pursue a path more aligned with his values. He uses this setback as a chance to reassess his life, to figure out what he really wants to do, and to go after it with everything he has. By accepting what is, rather than fighting against it, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering. We stop wasting our energy on things we can't control, and we start focusing on what we can control, our response. This doesn't mean that we should be passive in the face of adversity. It doesn't mean that we should simply accept whatever life throws at us without question. But it does mean that we should choose our battles wisely. We should save our energy for the things that we can actually change, for the things that are within our control, and for the rest, we should practice acceptance. So how do we do this? How do we learn to accept the things we can't change? It starts with gratitude. Even in the midst of hardship, there is always something to be grateful for. your health, your family, your friends, the roof over your head, the food on your table. These are all blessings, and it's important to remember them, even when it feels like everything else is going wrong. Ask yourself, how can I grow from this? Every challenge, every setback is an opportunity for growth. It's a chance to learn something new, to develop a new skill, to become a stronger person. Shift your mindset from resistance to acceptance, and you'll find strength in even the harshest trials. You'll find that you are more resilient than you ever thought possible. Chapter 3. Memento Mori. Remember you will die. Death. The one certainty in life, yet the one thing we avoid contemplating. We spend so much time worrying about the future, planning for retirement, trying to prolong our lives that we forget to actually live. The Stoics believed that remembering our mortality is the key to living fully. They knew that time is precious, that every day is a gift, and that we should never take it for granted. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." Imagine that. Imagine living each day as if it were your last. How would that change your priorities? How would that change the way you treat other people? Picture a man on his deathbed filled with regret, not for the things he failed to achieve, but for the moments he failed to truly live. He regrets the time he wasted on anger, on resentment, on chasing things that didn't matter. He regrets the moments he didn't spend with his loved ones, the experiences he missed out on, the words left unsaid. A Stoic knows that time is fleeting, and so he prioritizes what matters most: virtue, relationships, and purpose. He knows that the only things we truly regret in life are the things we didn't do, the chances we didn't take, the love we didn't give. So how do we live in the face of death? How do we make the most of this precious life we've been given? It starts with remembering. Memento Mori. Remember that you will die. Don't shy away from this thought. Embrace it. Let it fuel your actions, your decisions, your relationships. Reflect on your mortality daily. Let it remind you to focus on what truly matters. What are your values? What do you want your legacy to be? What are the things that bring you joy? Spend your time wisely, as if each moment could be your last. Don't waste it on things that don't matter. Don't waste it on anger, on resentment, on regret. Live in the present moment. Be grateful for the gift of life and make the most of every single day. The lessons of Stoicism are not just abstract philosophies, they are a call to action. To be unshakable is to master your emotions, accept fate with grace, and live with the awareness of life's fragility. It's about living a life of virtue, of purpose, of meaning. Remember, the strength of a Stoic lies not in avoiding hardship, but in facing it with courage and wisdom. It's about finding strength in adversity, about turning setbacks into opportunities for growth. If you found these lessons inspiring, subscribe for more insights into Stoic philosophy and how it can transform your life. Leave a comment sharing which principle resonated most with you, and let's continue this journey toward resilience and inner peace, together.